Welcome to Survival Mode Disrupted, the podcast for those who are done performing, done people pleasing, and done living life on autopilot. I'm your host, Letitia, the Survival Mode Disruptor, and this is where we create disruptive, unapologetic transformations for those who are ready to exit survival mode and reclaim their power. Every episode is your permission slip to burn the rule book, break the cycle, and finally build a life that feels like yours. So let's disrupt everything that's holding you back and start living life on your own terms. Welcome to Survival Mode Disrupted. This is your trigger warning. This podcast contains unfiltered conversations about trauma, abuse, and survival. Discretion is advised. This is not therapy or medical advice, just real people sharing real stories. So please take care of yourself and pause if you need to. If this conversation hits home, grab the book Survival Mode Exit Plan, your raw, unapologetic blueprint to break free. Available now by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the comments. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Survival Mode Disrupted. This is your host, Letitia, the Survival Mode Disruptor, and today I have Christian. Can you please introduce yourself?
Letitia, so glad to be here. My name is Kristen Clark. If you're looking for me online anywhere, put an MF in between my name and you'll find it. And yes, that MF means exactly what you think it means. And you'll always find me, no matter where I am. Instagram, Facebook, websites, or whatever, you'll find me there. And the reason I reached out to Letitia is exactly because of the name of her podcast, the Survival Mode Disrupted. And I love that she called herself the Disruptor, because I was like, yes, Queen, yes, you are. And it because number one, she brought me here, and you're not going to find a bigger disruptor than me. I'm not going to play by the rules. I'm not going to play by the games, but we have such a much more fun playground to play in. And the coolest thing that I was telling Letitia a minute ago before we started recording is that she created me. She manifested me. And so, woohoo, let's go, let's go, let's have fun.
Woohoo! Let's have fun. So, tell us a bit about your story to through survival mode.
Oh, I love this. I love because I played there. I played in these are my sob stories, and they were so, I call it romantic fluff, because it really is. It's like you go to the movie and you're with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and you're like, what should we watch? And they want to watch the, sci-fi bombs blowing up, blah blah blah. And here, and you're like going, well, I kind of was hoping for a romantic, happy story. And in every single one of those stories, the protagonist goes through the the hard times, the abuse, the all, she finds the love of her life and all is wonderful. Close the book, roll the motherfucking credits. Oh, by the way, I can cuss, sorry. There's a dragon. There she is. You can edit that part out if you like, but there's a reason that MF is between my name. Anyway, it's an emphasis. It's just letters making sounds. It's all good. But what what I guess you could say broke me open in this life, it wasn't the traumas, and it wasn't the survival. Like I said, that's just kind of romantic fluff. It's stories that are very entertaining, but the thing is they're kind of distracting us from what's really happening when we play in these so-called memories. See, every one of us every one of us has these stories. We have fantastic, amazing stories, and I'm like being careful here. Each one is unique, Each one is very enticing in the emotions they can elicit, but they're just another sparkly distraction from the real point and the realization that we always get to the other side. There's the real power. It doesn't matter how many stories you kind of zoom out from your life and you're observing all these, oh my God, how did I survive that? The thing is, you did. You got to the other side. You didn't survive. You didn't survive anything because these stories are not your identity. They don't define you. The fact that you always, always get to the other side, no matter what, no matter how big, no matter how terrible, no matter how death like, you always come out the other side. There's your definition. There's your identity. The story and all the fluff around it, that's not the breakthrough. The breakthrough is knowing the story was never the point. Because the truth is, I'm on the other side, right? This version of me that doesn't need the story for an identity, that doesn't need the story to heal because you were never broken to flippin' begin with. And if you're listening to this, then you're on the other side too. And it's not that you were never on the other side. It's just, and the thing is, manifestations are already built in to whatever frequency we're playing with. So think of it like this. You have radio frequencies all around you, right? Radio waves. And if you have a transistor radio or any radio, or even your TV sitting right next to you, and you want to tune it to a certain channel because you want to watch this thing we were just talking about, maybe it's a romance, maybe it's a comedy, maybe it's an action adventure, whatever. You push one little simple button and there it is. No thought about it. No thought, how does this work? No thought of, is this going to be on my channel? Whatever. No, you just turn to the channel, the frequency, the radio waves, and boom. So this is what's happening when we're playing in the games of, which is no big deal, sob stories. Look what I have survived. Look at me. I need to bleed all over this mic for you to see that I have earned my survival badge. No, you don't, because all you did was just turn to a frequency, and all these memories manifested to keep you there, to let you play there. It's just a flippin' playground. But how many times does your trauma interact with you in your life? Oh, well, you're thinking of it. But if something was to happen, like you just had an earthquake, like we just had a little bit ago, trust me, you're off that channel. You're off that frequency. And now you're in a whole nother frequency, which is, what just happened? And you've forgotten about the trauma. It's not there. It's not interacting with you. So life has thoughts, beliefs, memories, experiences, people, all the above, and they all come in and they play with you, and then they go. And it can be your husband, your children, your family, it can be whatever. They're never there 24/7. Sometimes you are saying, oh, they're off at school or work. But see, the thing is they came in, played with you, and left. Everything in your reality does that, except for one thing. There's only one thing in your whole wide world that doesn't do that. You. You have never left your side. It's absolutely impossible to imagine non-existence. You can imagine non-existence of anything, but not you. It's absolutely impossible to remember not existing because you never have. You've never not existed. I'm not talking about some invisible, sparkly consciousness or soul or anything like that. I'm talking you. Letitia, has never not existed. You have zero memory of it. You can have memories of past lives. You can play all in there. But who's telling the story? Who's watching that movie? Always you. Always you. And so the coolest thing is you realize, oh, I have never not interacted with me on one capacity or another. I'm present within every single one of those memories. I'm present within every single thought, every single belief, every single feeling, every single what you feel is concrete proof. You're present within it all. And I wonder if maybe that's where we should be putting our attention, is on this aspect of you that is always present within a wall, not the story that, yeah, I'm in that one too. I'm in them all. And when you choose to remove yourself, or actually just change the flipping channel, just change the channel, just decide, I've watched that movie so many damn times. I know it through and through. I don't need to play there anymore, because that's not me. That's not who I am. It's like my fingernail. It's something that I notice sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I'm not always there, and sometimes it rips off, and then it has to grow back, and it grows differently. And see, these stories, that's exactly all they are. And the survival, that whole energy of survival, again, very romantic, very romantic, very enticing, because it makes us feel like we've gone from small to enormous. But the thing is you've never not been enormous. Nothing in your reality is bigger than you. And when we play in these survivals, it becomes, it becomes an identity, and it becomes bigger than you. And it never was. And you never have to put it on. You never have to play with it. And there's a whole amazing world in what is here, right now. So something we talk about in certain circles is the now, right? Being mindful. Who are you right now? Not the stories. This moment right now. See, in this moment right now, Letitia is brand new. She's fresh. This version of you has never existed before. It's not a story. It's not a past story. This is brand new. She's never had a conversation like this before with me. She's never been in this particular time of day with this particular temperature and this light having these thoughts. She's never been here before. And that's you. That's the you that is not invisible. It's not someone you have to search for. She's right here. She's not hiding. She's not playing a game of treasure hunt to find her. She's right here. This version that we can play is imperfect. I'm not perfect yet. I have to still see what's behind door number 3 to finally be perfect. And that's just another playground that manifests more and more proof that you're not perfect. Okay, you don't stop being you if you play there. You're this you that's always right here in every thought, every idea is always present. But see, this you in this moment right here, right now, she doesn't play in time. She doesn't need the identities. She doesn't need to speak from pain, because she is power. She speaks from power, not power earned, not a ladder she had to climb to get to the power, a power she's always been, always. And she may feel like, well, who the heck is she? But what happens is you start remembering, not suddenly knowing. You remember. And it's like the man behind the curtain. Oh, yeah, I remember that guy was back there. I love that smile. That was a great smile. So when we play in the, I went through this trauma and I survived, that's fine, but you can feel it. You can feel it get its little teeth in you. You can feel the constriction, kind of like a chick in an egg that's ready to peck out. And you already pecked out of that egg. But then you go and you get yourself back in there. The problem is now you're so big, it doesn't fit. And it's just tight. It's uncomfortable. You're adjusting yourself all the way around. And in with that area, comes in manifests anxiety, fears, worries, panic attacks, blah 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 blah. And the cool thing is, no matter what, you just still don't stop being you. You're still going to get to the other side. You're going to have a panic attack. Okay. Are you going to stop existing? No. Are you not going to get to the other side? No. You always do. And that's the bottom line. That's the disruption, is understanding you always, 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 always get to the other side. And I'm going to tell you right now, death is no exception. You always get to the other side. Nothing can cage this God right there, that one. Nothing can cage it. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can halt your existence. All right. Go, girl, go.
Girl, wow. So listen, the energy has been real since the minute you signed in, and I loved it. But what I
Yay.
love about what you said, right, is this is about radical earning.
Go.
Girl, wow. So listen, the energy has been real since the minute you signed in, and I loved it. But what I
Yay.
love about what you said, right, is this is about radical ownership. This is about taking control and
Well said.
recognizing this is about me. Like, as much as we are conditioned in life to be so considerate of others, life is about us.
Go.
Girl, wow. So listen, the energy has been real since the minute you signed in, and I loved it. But what I
Yay.
love about what you said, right, is this is about radical ownership. This is about taking control and
Well said.
recognizing this is about me. Like, as much as we are conditioned in life to be so considerate of others, life is about us. And
And yeah.
we have to get to the core of that. And a lot of us struggle because we don't know who we are.
Okay.
We don't spend enough time understanding that part of ourselves, the main part.
The one that's glaring right in your
Right,
face.
like the main character. We spend so much time on supporting character roles and not enough time on the main character, which is us. And one of the things that I talk about a lot, around survival mode is I believe there are three phases to accident survival mode: self-awareness, reprogramming, and then the reinvention. Because again, we are so removed from having real, honest, unapologetic relationships with ourselves.
Beautifully said. And can you imagine if you're having that conversation in here? It's one thing to say it out here, but if it's
Mhm.
just you hanging out with you and you walk by a mirror or something, what's the first thing you're going to think or say? And it's like, okay, you can play there and you can give it a whole history if you like. Or you can just say, ooh, look at that queen. Nice. And, not from a space of, oh, I'm lying to myself, but from a space of what you just said, unapologetic. Unapologetic. I am the God here. Hello. And the thing is, this isn't romantic fluff, as I've been saying a lot. I really liked that it came out this morning. And so I'm kind of clinging on to it because it's so true. It's not like, oh, someday this will be true. No, it is true because it's in your face all the time. What I said a minute ago is you can't get away from you.
Mhm.
We don't need to have faith until it shows up. No, it's right here. It's this, you can sit here and really look back at all your memories. You can look, because memories are just thoughts, but you can look back at all your memories and you can always find this version of you.
Mhm.
You can find oh, I was 10 years old and I had these thoughts and I lived in this spot and I had these things happen to me. You could give that actor a whole persona, but it's still you doing that. It's still you watching the memory, and you can feel her. You can feel her present in every single version of this movie you're watching.
Mhm.
She's never not there. And that's people are like, oh, I need proof. Well, the proof, you've been overlooking the proof all the time. You've
Proof's in
been
the
like,
pudding, baby.
yeah, distraction squirrels, so
Yeah.
many sparkly distractions.
The
Cool.
story, the story, that
Yes.
part there, the story
Stories.
is not the point. It's not the point.
No. Yeah.
And that is so powerful when we can own that. When
Oh.
we can say, I can strip myself of the stories I'm telling and get to know who I am in this moment. I get to decide who she is in this moment, and I get to decide who she is tomorrow. Yesterday,
Preach it, queen.
something we cannot change, does not matter. And a lot of times, the reason why we end up in survival mode and stay in survival mode is because we are married to that romantic fluff. We are married to the stories that we tell ourselves, which essentially are bold-faced lies. And then we end up in this like spiral because we haven't connected to the part of us that matters, and that's us. This is like,
Yeah.
honestly, the way that you have framed this is quite exciting to me
I
because
love it.
it really emphasizes that radical ownership. It really puts it to the forefront because everything else is secondary to our relationship with ourselves. And if we are focused on that, we end up showing up differently in our spaces. We
Yeah.
then end up being impactful in our spaces, which I think is what is the point of life anyway. We're here to change the world. So that reframe in itself is so powerful and life changing that I am so excited that you brought it to this space.
Oh, yay. I love it. And own it too, Letitia. Own that you brought it to this space. That there's a
Mhm,
part of you that's like, I can't play here anymore.
mhm,
I've gotten too big. I've gotten too big in who I am. I know that this playground anymore. And so you created this radical permission slip to say, yes, be that version of yourself. And something even more, even bigger invitation is to let go of all the, oh, we do this because of this. Oh, we do that. Let go that yesterday even existed. Let it all go. And then it's like, but who am I? What am I going to talk about? Oh, you'll find out. You'll
mhm,
find out. You do fine all day long, not knowing what's going to happen in the very next moment. You do just fine. And
mhm.
you'll do just fine here. But there becomes this, instead of being on the default mode of, okay, what's going to come to me? Because that's still making something bigger than you. There's a God, there's a source, there's a universe, there's a life, there's something that I have to bend over backwards. And how far do I have to bend over backwards to please this invisible whatever so that I finally receive what it is I want, our ideal life or whatever? Clarity, understanding, freedom. We all want freedom. We think we want money. We don't. We want freedom. We want freedom to be ourselves, freedom to not worry, freedom to not tolerate this person I can't stand. Freedom, freedom, freedom is what's underneath it all. And the freedom, but it's also the freedom from believing any of these stories we're telling, believing that there's anything outside of you. You are it all. Nothing came before you. You were not made. You can't be unmade. And
Mm.
again, this is your enormity stepping up and saying, Letitia is so much bigger than this. Let's go here. Let's play here.
I think, yeah, being able to earn that is just so, so
To
powerful.
earn, baby girl. There ain't nothing to earn. There's again, earn is like, I have been bad. I haven't been good enough to have this. Earning speaks of something outside of you rewarding you.
Mm.
You've now vibrated high enough. Oh, you had such good thoughts 5 weeks ago. We're going to eke out you finding a dollar bill on the ground. That? I don't know, And again, yeah, it's understanding that you deserve it because you're you, because you are the creator of this reality. It's not even a deserving, because again, deserving makes it sound like you have to jump over some hoop. You gotta do some hack to earn or to deserve. But to walk around your reality and have somebody come up to you and say, you are amazing. Here's $100,000. And you're like going, oh, how did I do it? How did I manifest this? What did I do? I've got to go back and look through my notes and figure out what I did so I can make this happen again. Oh my God, that's such a trap. It's such a horrible, constricting place to be in, instead of just going, damn right, somebody gave me $100,000 and tomorrow it's probably going to be 1 million. Damn right. And it doesn't have a because. It doesn't have a
Hmm.
because built in.
Hmm. You are the the answer. I mean, it sounds crazy to say that from a space that isn't used to this reframe, but that's essentially what you're telling us. That is
Oh, yeah.
essentially what we're saying. Everything that we need is already here. We have to tap into it, which means that we have to spend time getting to know who we are in the present. Not by the stories that we tell, not by the anxiety that we hold, none of that. This is being present and owning who we are
Yeah.
unapologetically.
Yeah. And now
and
remove the
disruptively.
present. Remove that there's such a thing as present. Just be you.
Hmm.
Just be you. You know, I can give myself the memory of, so many years that I was trying to please something invisible, whether whatever it was, and then going, you know what? I don't see anything there. I have zero proof that there is anything bigger than me. Zero proof. I've got memories, but that ain't proof for shit. Because anybody can, yeah, you can have like a girlfriend, you're sitting there and you guys are talking about something that happened. You're like, oh, yeah, remember it went like this. And your girlfriend goes, wait a minute, that's not how it happened. It happened like this. And in that moment, what was a concrete memory suddenly shifts. It
Hmm.
just suddenly starts changing the channel. And you're like, oh, you're right. I was wrong. And that memories are not proof of anything because you can't prove them. Oh, well, I have pictures. That ain't proof of shit, especially nowadays. It and so the only concrete real proof is what's right here. This thing that has a nose and teeth and elbows, and you can feel it. You have zero memory of this body. And when I say this body, I'm not talking about wrinkles or anything like that. Just this being inside this body, the Letitia body, not existing. You have zero memory of that. And that is the most concrete proof right there. And yet we jump right over it. We zip right past what's right in front of our faces. And
Hmm.
present is not needed. Focus, meditation, none of that is needed for you to find you. You're right here. All you have to do is say, hi, Letitia. And she goes, hi, what's up? And she's right here to answer any question you have. You don't
Hmm.
have to, you know, prostrate yourself on the ground and meditate or pray or whatever, and then maybe I'll get an answer. Oh, look, a butterfly went by. There's my answer. Really? Really? Is that an answer that satisfies you? That ain't satisfying. I want the big old fat steak of satisfaction. And that
Mm.
satisfaction is this girl right here going, okay, you're scared of doing taxes. So the flip what? Go do it. Oh, but shouldn't I be vibrating a certain way so that the taxes turn out good so that I get what I want? Really? Are we still playing that game? Well, um, come on, go do them and see what happens. Do it shaking in your boots because you can. Go. And then voila, I do my taxes and I get $1,400 back, and there's a 4,000 less than I owed last year, even though I made more than last year. So it doesn't make no sense. But who cares? Because I did it. And I
You
did it
did it.
shaken, and I did it scared, and I did it vibrating anything but what Instagram tells you you're supposed to do.
Oh my God, I've loved this conversation so much. You've already told us where we can find you online. So
Yes.
before we wrap it up, leave us with one last powerful takeaway.
In life and in business and in love and in health, you are the frequency, the radio station everything's responding to. So, what are you emitting?
That's a good question to ponder, listeners. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Kristen, for your time and this conversation. And listeners, thank you for catching another episode of Survival Made Disrupted. And I want to remind you, you were not built to break, but you damn sure were not built to just survive. Disrupt the cycle, reclaim your life, and thrive on your own terms. And I will see you next week.